All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. This one was absolutely wild. I know some of y'all get mad when I say that, but I mean, just look at this. So, tomorrow we have a lot of data. I have the breakdown for you, but I've been saying it all day today. The big money is on Friday, and I hope I see you there. We're going to be up there early, but I really hope I could simplify this, and tomorrow will be our last trading day till those non-farms, but I really want you to see what happened and look at this rip. The NASDAQ closed up 4%. It's crazy, but let me give you the breakdown. We opened up in the morning, and then there was an ADP jobs report that came in really bad, and the market liked it, but then everybody realized once again, ADP doesn't really tell you anything, and then 30 minutes or 15 minutes later, the GDP came out, personal consumption, core PCE quarter over quarter. All of that data came in good, and then things started to drop, and then we had a JOLTS jobs opening. It's so crazy because it seems so big throughout the day, but after Powell spoke, you don't really see this. So essentially, we were down. You've seen how the market has been, and then we started going crazy after Powell spoke. So I'm going to go over all the plays. We did very well today. If you were seeing the plays yesterday in the plan, I definitely got my opportunity to rebalance. So we're going to go over all of that, but I'm going to get into what happened. We were just listening to the SBF interview, and my goodness, that's awful, man. Can't support that. Unacceptable. But, ladies and gentlemen, it don't matter because it's game time. November is over. December is tomorrow, and we got to take it day by day. So drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. I will see you there. And no matter what, win or lose today, I need you ready for Friday, baby. Run it.
Walking to the couch, it's the 2020 last. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
But right after the bad, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is what everybody was saying. And if you were listening live, it was kind of interesting, but it was very clear. Most of what Powell said was not new. Even his key phrase, we must get inflation under control. The job is not done yet. It was almost exactly the same. And this is what, through most of the day, has left people perplexed. And I was even saying, I'd say up until like about here, I think this was just the short squeeze. And now people play in the levels. And wait, I got a fun fact for you. You might be disturbed by it, but we'll get to it. But the whole idea was, not much of it was new, but like I'm saying, I want you to understand what really was new. So the first thing right off the bat, you probably got the stream alert, and I was saying it live on stream, you had a giant pop before Powell even came on, and the reason was his pre-written statement. It came out, and what he said in that was that terminal rate expectations would not be much higher than September. That is where they think the rates are going to end by the end of the year and where they think longer run rates should be. So this is what we were worried about. Even the last time I heard Powell talk, this is what I was worried about. And now even leading into Powell in the next couple of weeks, the summary of economic projections, it is going to show up on this FOMC. But he pretty much said it shouldn't be higher or much higher than where it was. That kind of eased everybody up in terms of surprise. So that's the first thing, but now the second thing, and this is where you really started to rally, and this is where you had to really pick up on it, and honestly, how it came about, it was like the interview kind of trapped him into it. Even Powell giggled when he answered it, but that jobs JOLTS openings this morning, it came in a little bit above, but it was a lot lower than the last month, and then they did a bunch of revisions, but the whole market interpreted it as bad. Even me in the morning, I even said the same thing. It wasn't that good of a print. It was showing the jobs data wasn't too bad, and that's what we're looking for on the non-farms. Bad jobs data would be bullish. Good jobs data would be bearish. So people were kind of hoping there, but the job openings was good, but then Powell literally said it was good. Or even though everybody thought it was bad, Powell was like, actually, it was good, and we saw some declines, and that started to fuel things. And then finally, this is one which I think is very interesting, and I think people might hang on to this, but one of the key things that he said was that, hey, we don't know where restrictive territory is. Even Lisa Cook, another Fed member, she pretty much said that right before he came on, and he said we don't know where restrictive is. He has been saying he thinks we're getting there. Bullard's like it has to be 7. But the whole idea of what he said and why it was bullish, he said the only way that we're going to find restrictive is to start slowing down the rate hikes. So that was kind of bullish, but like I'm saying, a lot of it was the same, but now we got to ride it out, and it doesn't matter what happens tomorrow because it's all going to be about the non-farm. So that's your next key, and I hope you get it. That 50 basis points, the lower rate hikes, it's pretty much guaranteed for now. But what I was telling y'all all day today, you have a CPI right before Powell speaks. And depending on that result, I really think it can change the Fed futures. And I think Powell is going to try to play the audible. But I even brought this up here today. Powell sounded a lot less hawkish than the last couple of times we've had him, so maybe he knows the data, but even then, that is what we got to be looking for, and now you are going to be getting data tomorrow, and all that is the biggest move is going to occur Friday after the non-farms, and that will confirm everything on the week of, yeah, this should be a monster rally, end of the year, short squeeze, Santa, tax loss, whatever you want, or people are like, oh my gosh, the world's ending again because of the data. So as far as their data tomorrow, in the morning, 7:30, you're getting challenger job cuts. That one shouldn't be too big. At 8:30, you're going to get personal income, personal spending, and real personal spending. And now this will tell us a little bit about the economy, so that could have a big effect. But now the PCE deflator, month over month and year over year, we had quarter over quarter today. Those will be important. And then the PCE core and non-core, both of those, those are all coming out at 8:30, 1 hour before the bell, as well as initial jobless claims and continuing claims. So you are going to have a lot to react to, and we still have to deal with China tonight. And then 15 minutes after the bell, you're going to get global manufacturing PMIs. And then at 10, you're going to get the ISM manufacturing, prices paid, new orders. And the only thing out of those I think will be key, it will be the ISM employment. But PCE and anything related to spending and those jobless claims, those will be the big movers tomorrow. So keep that all in mind. And now this is that little disturbing fact I was going to tell you. But 40.90 on the SPX, and I think you're pretty close to it, maybe 10 points away. That would break the downtrend on the market from January. And now, currently, right here, right now, the Dow has entered into a bull market. So take that as you please. The data and non-farms is either going to confirm this or change it all. And then Powell after that. But now, welcome to the final month, ladies and gentlemen. But let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, we made a lot of plays. If you were seeing what happened, almost every losing play I was able to get out of with profit. Still realized 1,000. I could have made a lot more, but I was saying this all day. My plan is to play it safe, and I want to run it on Friday and use that data, but tomorrow it is anybody's game. So even though I closed out a lot of my upside that I was holding, I am still holding the bonds, and this is something I brought up a couple of times, and you may have noticed it, but on these big rally days, especially after Powell minutes, CPI, if the move is going to stay solid, usually you get a follow through with the bond market, or at least in this environment. It doesn't always happen like that throughout history. Again, how bonds have been moving has been quite a phenomenon, but the bonds are lagging behind. The S&P went up 3, NASDAQ went 4.4. The bonds moved like 0.75% after hour, but they barely moved 1% throughout the day. So it's like, hey, if we're really going to get a big rally, or even if Friday confirms it, and that's what the bonds may wait for, that is the thing that is lagging. So it's like, if I want to go for anything on the upside, I'm still holding my bonds, but I think this will be a great opportunity. But keep your eyes out for that. That's one big key. The next big thing, I have Boeing, and even then, there's going to be a lot of plays tomorrow. It all just depends, and watching the data. And again, tech has been underperforming, so keep that in mind. But now Boeing, they had good news today regarding the 737 recertification. They've already been strong, and Ronald McDonald and all of that. But if there is a lot more momentum, and I'm just saying, if we keep getting a continued squeeze, I'm looking for the underperformers today, and well, the Dow was an underperformer. It still went up 2%, but not as much. However, if people get really risk on, we may see the days of the NASDAQ leading the S&P, and then everyone's like, why would I buy value? So we will see, but that's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. And then finally, baby, the yen. /6J, FXY, YCL, YCS. You should know this. It still holds the answers. Today, we were flying blind most of the day, but now you might be able to argue the macro is leading. I said it on stream. There's no real evidence of that, and there was just so much going on. I would hate to make that premature of a judgment, but everything with the yen still applies. We got to see what happens there in China and how it plays out. But keep your eyes out for this because, again, even if things get bullish, even if the bonds get bullish, there is a correlation here, and we want to see, do you start to get that risk-on mode? Do people drop the dollar? And now these are some of the biggest losers, but ultimately I'm using this as an answer to see if we get any more, safe haven demand or problems with China. But even then, we were talking about the yen snapping back, but keep your eyes on it. He's saying a lot, especially in comparison to the euro, the yen, or the euro and the pound. But go watch the last two videos, and I'm sure it will help you more if you don't get what I'm saying. But that is the main plays, or those are the main plays. As far as everything else now, let's see. Like I said, we made a bunch of plays, but you'll see the trades that I did, but I used the opportunity to rebalance. I really hope you guys were watching along. You got to see all the plays, what I was holding, but I had IYT. There was rail news early in the day. I had like $30 profit or 50. I closed out of that, and I wanted to free it up. It was actually like $14,000 in buying power. It's pretty big. And then my Apple, as everything was running, remember, I got rugged on this one, but I was able to close out, and I closed out early. I didn't want to get too greedy today, and I was happy getting a lot of the money back because we have been realizing stuff, and I want to be ready for Friday, and I didn't want to be imbalanced like I was. So close out of the Apple was like a $20 or $40 loss. Then the Amazon, I was able to close that out for like another $100 and change. Got my Tesla shares like $200 in profit. Then the NQ that I was down $7,000 on, I was actually able to close it out for about a $600 profit. Then I went short on all of these, and I hit these little trades. I made like 125 on the ES going for the greedy shorts, but bro, it was getting squeezy, and I took one final one, and then I took a $500 loss on it. I said, no, it's not worth it. Get me out of there. I ended up losing 500 of the 1,000 or so that we realized, but it was looking really squeezy, and I said, I'm going to go. I shorted high. I thought it was at a level, but with everything, all bets are off until Friday. So took that loss. It was still a great day. Realized out in the green, made back a ton of everything, and now I have a ton of buying power coming into all of it. So now you can see everything we got. There's the same Disney shares. That's what I'm still holding. There's the bond play. So I made a lot on that. Now it's up 1,200. And like I'm saying, I closed all the other ones. I'll ride the bonds. It has a multifaceted approach to that, but now I have no more ES. Even my old options that we made free are gone. Nothing in that. And remember, we closed out the short for profit. I still have this micro short. It's a little smaller, and it's still not too bad, but I'm cool with a little bit of downside for now. And again, compared to everything else, it's not too crazy, but it's a crazy price that we had on that. No more NQ. Closed out with profits. No more Apple. No more Amazon. No more Tesla. I was looking at Horizon. I still have the Qualcomm, so that one was a little bit bad there. And then the Yang now, I believe those are the only other recent plays. So still holding those two shorts that are still down, but nothing too crazy, and I think we're going to balance them out. Yang, I still like for the exposure of China, and then we have all of the money, and let's see what happens with it. But it's keeping the streak alive, still walking away with great realized profits, and now I am very comfortable, especially if you saw. Just go listen to what I was telling you yesterday. I said, hey, I'm not as bullish as this feels, even if it worked in my favor. I got to rebalance, and that's all. And now we're cool, calm, collecting. And I'm telling you, Friday is going to be big. But that is pretty much everything else. There's going to be a lot to look at. Again, I'll even give you a future check before I go because this will probably be the more important stuff, and we'll see. So right now, so far, we end up to 4096, holding the 4088. I would just watch 4100 or not. And then that data by the morning, again, people are going to react. So Hopefully we see you there. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, pride comes before the fall. And if you could tough this out, you're going to be able to do good. Everybody, you're going to be faced with a challenge or temptation. You're going to have to learn to deal with it tomorrow if it caught you off guard, or you're going to have to make sure you don't get tempted into a bad play. Remember, follow the events. We're getting into the macro and just 30 more days left of this, baby. So approach it humbly. Whatever happened today, I want you to forget it. Whatever happens tomorrow, be in the moment, take it as it comes, and then it's all about Friday, baby. And then I'm telling you, that runway leading into Powell, let's make the most of it, and you're ready for it, baby. Fourth quarter, let's go. This is where it happens. But I love you. Okay, I'll see you. Drink your water. Stay hydrated. You already know. I'll see you in the morning. That date is going to be crazy. Okay, peace out. Horn.